You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. You know, guys, thanks to YouTube, I can go a little bit more rogue than I usually would. And for a channel like mine, that is exactly what you'll love to see. And if you're a gooch licker, that's exactly what you hate to see. Cause over here in the world of YouTube and Call of Duty, you know the Scadmaster doesn't sugarcoat anything. Look guys, I haven't uploaded in like a week because you guys know how this game goes. 2 weeks after the season drops, everything becomes uninteresting, there's no news, nothing happens, and that's the cycle we've been in for the last 4 years. But I will say something very quickly before we get into the video. If you're paying attention to the gameplay, it appears as though the Scadmaster has obtained Orion camo. And I know that might be problematic for people who think that I just rant on this channel, and if I hate Call of Duty, then how the hell can I be playing it? Look guys, it's just common sense. You need to know the game you're playing to review it, even if you have negative feedback 100% of the time, which the Scadmaster actually doesn't. If you guys remember my earlier MW2 videos, the one thing that I said I liked about this game was the camo grind system. And now that I've completed the camo grind, well, that's how we get into this situation where I don't play for like 5 days straight and I don't upload. So for the gooch lickers that get upset that I'm playing the game and hating on it at the same time, tough luck, you hate to see it. Please devour the lint underneath my scrotum and let's get right into this video, guys. So, on today's episode of Shitting on Gooch Lickers, we have an interesting tweet by Charlie Intel where he makes some kind of weird claims that I kind of had trouble understanding about bundles and the revenue system here in Call of Duty. And you guys know exactly how I feel about bundles. If you buy bundles in this day and age, especially if you paid $70 for this game, you, in fact, are part of the reason why these last 4 Call of Duties have been so bad. Charlie Intel comes out of the blue saying, for those wondering why game skins cost so much money, it's cause games like Fortnite normalized $20 skins and then others copied the price, including Call of Duty. They only charge how much they know people will pay, and people will pay. Now that second part I actually agree with. If people are gonna pay, then of course they're gonna keep putting them out to be paid for at the exact same price, because a lot of gooch lickers out there, they just spend without realizing that they're giving the devs an excuse to be lazy because they know that revenue is going to be made up regardless if the game is good or not. And if the last 4 Call of Duties have been indicative of anything, it's that they rely more on revenue from bundles than actual revenue from the game's quality being good and having people buy it off of the quality. But the first part about Fortnite normalizing $20 skins and therefore everybody's gonna do it, and now the cop-out is to blame the community, specifically the gooch lickers, which I do on a day-to-day basis, but I simply don't agree that you just chalk this up to Fortnite being the way it was. And I'm glad this guy said it, Mr. Rayguns. He says, Fortnite is free, Call of Duty is $70. And that is one of the biggest differences that I see. So I don't think it's right by just chalking this up to Fortnite did it, so everybody else does it. Fortnite is a free-to-play game. You can spend bundle money, especially if your community is satisfied with the product. But here in Call of Duty, do we have that? Especially if you're a multiplayer fan. If you say yes, please get your tongue off of Bobby Cosby's gooch. And you see, this is the problem I have with big platforms like Charlie Intel. When they spread some sort of information, but they don't say it how it is. They sugarcoat a lot, and they try to blame it on other things like Fortnite and the community is just buying bundles, when at the end of the day, majority of this is on Activision and Infinity Ward, as well as some of the gooch lickers. Not all of them, but most of them. Gooch licker Intel says, yeah, Fortnite is free to play, so is Warzone, but also Activision is charging the prices they are because people are paying for it. If no one was buying, they'd change the price so fast. And while I understand what he's trying to say, and yes, a lot of the gooch lickers are the problem of this, again, you're not holding the right parties accountable. Activision and Infinity Ward, they're both shitty. They don't do a good job, and they're more hellbent on earning money than actually giving us a quality product where buying bundles would be justified. Thankfully, there's some right-minded people like the Scadmaster, and before I put up my tweet, I know there's some gooch lickers already commenting, just pipe down and shut the fuck up, fat ass, and bow down to the Scadmaster and listen up! Scadmaster says, you can get away with $20 skins if your game is stable and your community is satisfied with a free-to-play product, but $70 for a bottom 5 multiplayer experience and $20 skins with hundreds of bundles in the life cycle. Activision and Infinity Ward are both toilets. And if you tell me otherwise and you solely pin this on people just buying skins, you're a gooch licker. I'm sorry. Of course, you guys know how I feel about bundles in the game. I don't think you should buy bundles regardless ever. I think you should just earn the shit. I'm not defending people who buy bundles. All I'm saying is put the blame on the first parties involved with this, Activision and Infinity Ward. Activision for being greedy, and Infinity Ward for making such a shit product, where buying bundles is just that much worse in a game that sucks and doesn't support its community. You guys know how I feel about Infinity Ward. They're anti-community, have never been for the community, and they haven't made a good Call of Duty in the last decade. The other issue I have with Charlie Intel's statement is he says if no one was buying, they'd change the price so fast. And if you guys remember, just a few months ago, there was a report that revenue from bundles was at an all-time low in this current era of Call of Duty after Vanguard and beginning in MW 2019 Part 2. Well, if Charlie Intel's statement was correct at all, or if he held any accountability for Activision or Infinity Ward, then that last statement would simply be false. This is why I don't solely pin this on the community buying bundles, because there was already a dip, there was already a decrease in the revenue from bundles, and no change happened to the price. At that point, you don't blame the community that's buying bundles. By the way, once again, if you're buying bundles, you're literally trolling. That's when you start pinning this on Activision and Infinity Ward. I'm tired of these platforms not putting the blame where they belong. I understand, Charlie Intel, you have Activision's gooch down your throat. Please, for the love of God, call out Activision for being greedy on this. And once again, you can't say Fortnite normalized it. Fortnite's community is content with their product and it's free to play. Modern Warfare 2019 Part 2 multiplayer is not free to play. And I can guarantee you, no matter what Goochlicker has to say about it, the vocal portion of the community, the portion of the community with common sense, we are not content with the multiplayer the way it is. What we need to normalize is some fucking common sense. What we need to normalize is the fact that to the gooch lickers, I'm drinking milk out of your mother's cow udder. Shut the fuck up. This game could be so much better than what it is currently, to the point where you could sort of justify people buying bundles because they're actually content with the game and the game's quality. You could justify it. I still don't agree with it. I don't think you should buy bundles regardless if this was an A-tier COD. I don't think you should buy bundles, just earn the shit. But nope, Infinity Ward, you still need to cater to shitters, aka gooch lickers, aka MW fans, and because they're being protected so much, they justify it themselves to purchase a bundle, and therefore the cycle continues. Shitty COD, dumbasses buy bundles, that revenue goes up, devs think they're doing the right thing, they continue giving us low quality content and low quality products, and then the cycle continues over and over again, and then a content creator like myself calls it out, and these same gooch lickers with a 0.4 KD with a 1% accuracy rate want to talk about, oh, you're just hating for views. You make Call of Duty videos for views. What the fuck else do you think I'm doing on YouTube? You think I'm making YouTube videos to specifically not get views? Please, public education is free. I've said this before, guys, but if we want an actual good Call of Duty, there are so many things that need to be working together. There are so many things that need to be going on at the same time. You can't just look at the game and say, oh, well, if the community wasn't buying bundles, then we'd have a better game. It's not that simple. There's multiple pieces working at the same time that all together is making this game horrible, is making this franchise horrible. One of them just so happens to be that people buy bundles, they continue giving us shitty products, and then they mistaken revenue for quality. And this whole thing with revenue is not because Fortnite normalized it. And by the way, before anybody tells me I'm a Fortnite fan, I haven't touched the game since 2017. It's been 6 years. I don't care about Fortnite. All I can tell you is, put the blame where it belongs. Activision, Infinity Ward, and the gooch lickers. I mean, guys, I've seen people defend Infinity Ward and Activision and say things like, oh, well, it's not Infinity Ward's fault, it's Activision's fault. Or they'll say things like, well, people need to stop buying. And yes, I agree, for like the 20th time, please, for the love of God, stop buying bundles, whether or not you even like the game. You can't pin this in one direction. That's not gonna get us anywhere. I mean, guys, I tried calling this from the start. This is what happens when Infinity Infinity Ward creates a modern Call of Duty, and majority of players are playing on Shipment. Shipment is a brain blender. I can guarantee you the people that think this way, they played Shipment for 20 minutes and their IQ dropped by over 700%. I can tell you right now, I know this video is a lot of rambling, but I just cannot for the life of me sit here and watch people with platforms not place the blame on the correct areas. Charlie Intel and anybody else who spews this bullshit of Fortnite normalizing shit, shame on you. Good God, get a grip. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Whose fault do you think this is? The community's fault, who's buying bundles, Activision, Infinity Ward, or all three? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos, and yeah guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles. It's been a very